Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of your sources and really dig into them to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge or insight. Our mission today, well, it's to give you a shortcut, really, to getting informed about a fascinating travel topic. We aim for surprising facts, maybe a little humor too. Today, our stack, as we call it, is actually just one source, but it's a really compelling one. It's a transcript from the podcast Living Vietnam, the Expat Life. The episode was called Island Escapes: How to Plan a Trip to Quan Lạn, Minh Châu, and Cô Tô. So this deep dive is custom tailored for you, the curious learner, someone who wants to quickly get the essence of a topic. And what better topic than maybe venturing off the beaten path a bit in Vietnam? Before we jump right in, though, a quick note. This deep dive was brought to you by ProCare Hanoi. They're the phone and laptop repair shop that the expat community really seems to trust. Fast service, clear communication, honest advice. Basically exactly what you need if your tech suddenly decides to, give up the ghost. And speaking of passion projects, this deep dive itself is a real labor of love for us. If you found value in any of our chats, I'd be really grateful for your support. Buy me a coffee is honestly the simplest way to say thanks. And trust me, every single cup genuinely keeps me going. Just scan the QR code in our cover art. And to those who've already chipped in, a massive thank you. You're really fueling this journey of discovery for us.
Yeah, and what's really insightful about this particular source is that it's not just, a travel story. It's a practical guide. It was put together for expats, which immediately tells you something, right? It signals that kind of actionable, real-world advice, the kind you get from people who actually live there, not just passing through. So we'll be distilling those key details about these lesser-known Vietnamese islands, trying to uncover why they offer such unique escapes.
Okay, sounds good. Let's unpack this then and get ready for a bit of an island adventure, mentally at least. So you hear so much about places like Phu Quoc or maybe Nang in Vietnam. They're famous, but this source, it makes a really strong case for these other islands, Quan Lạn, Minh Châu, Cô Tô. What is it, do you think, that really sets them apart, makes them worth the effort?
Well, what's fascinating, I think, is how these islands almost offer a kind of blueprint for escaping that, tourist trap feeling. It's not just finding a quiet spot. It's how the effort involved in getting there, maybe relying more on local knowledge. And the simplicity of it all, it sort of reframes your whole travel mindset. The source really emphasizes they're significantly quieter, cleaner, and crucially, much less commercialized. And that's not just a small difference, It's a distinct appeal for people looking for something more, authentic. Another really key practical thing. They're reachable within a day from Hanoi. That's a huge plus for anyone starting there. And maybe the most enticing part. The beaches, particularly on Minh Châu, are described as shockingly clean and white.
Shockingly.
Yeah, which suggests, it's not just clean for Vietnam, it's genuinely standout natural beauty, better than many crowded spots.
It really does sound like the perfect antidote to overcrowded places and just too much going on. The source specifically mentions they're great for couples, families wanting quiet beach time, friend groups, even solo travelers just looking for some peace and quiet. So it's really about that tranquility, it seems.
Exactly. And that brings us to a really important question for any traveler.
Yeah.
What are you actually looking for? The source is pretty upfront about managing expectations. If you want bars, fancy resorts, constant buzz, this probably isn't it.
Right.
But if your dream is waking up to, just the sound of waves, eating amazing fresh seafood by the sea, and falling asleep with literally no traffic noise, then the source basically says you've found your island paradise. It's like a return to simplicity, a chance to properly disconnect.
Okay, so getting there sounds like it's part of the adventure itself. The source says it takes some planning and patience, but it's totally worth it. That definitely sets the scene, doesn't it? It's not just a quick flight. Adds to the feeling of finding somewhere a bit special, maybe.
That's right. The original guide outlines two main ways from Hanoi. Both start with getting to Cai Rong Port in Van Nuys. That first bit is usually a car or a limousine bus, maybe private transfer.
Okay.
And that takes about 4.5 to 5 hours. So it's a decent drive before you even see a boat.
Right, so you're already committed by then.
Exactly. Then, from Cai Rong Port, you've got two options. For Quan Lạn and Minh Châu, you hop on a speedboat. That's pretty quick, only about 45 minutes. These boats usually run from around 7 a.m. to 3.3 p.m., but, and this is important, the schedule can depend on the tide.
Okay. Good to know.
So checking ahead is absolutely key. Then for Cô Tô, it's a different boat from the same port. Bit more modern, maybe slightly bigger. That trip takes longer, around 60 to 75 minutes. So still speedboats, but different types and times.
That's super practical info, and the original source also had that great tip: book your boat ticket beforehand. Apparently you can use a Vietnamese travel site, but maybe even better is asking your homestay or hotel to help out. That local connection probably makes things way easier, I imagine.
Definitely. And the guide also mentions you can combine islands, like go Quan Lạn, then Minh Châu, then maybe Koh Tao.
Oh, cool.
It sounds great, right? But it comes with a warning.
Yeah.
You really, really need to coordinate those boat schedules carefully between the islands. And another vital warning, especially for safety and just avoiding hassle, always check the weather and the tides. Particularly during the stormy season, which is roughly July to September. Both can get canceled with very little notice.
Oof, yeah. You definitely don't want to get stuck waiting at the port.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've decided to go, you've figured out this somewhat complex journey, but what about packing? The source makes it clear this isn't a luxury trip, it's more a beach homestay or rustic hotel vibes. What does that mean for your bag?
Great, and that brings up the question, how do you actually prepare for that less commercial, maybe less convenient experience? The source really focuses on essentials. Obvious stuff first. Swimwear, of course. Sunscreen, hat, absolutely vital. Flip-flops or sandals are perfect. And crucially, mosquito repellent. Do not forget that.
Yeah, definitely not. Been there, regretted that.
Beyond that, other really practical things. A power bank is a good idea. Power can apparently go out occasionally.
Oh, right.
A light jacket for cooler evenings. And packing your own snacks, any meds you need, maybe a backup phone charger. These small things make a huge difference when you're deliberately stepping away from convenience stores on every corner.
And just as important is what not to bring, right?
Yeah.
The source specifically says, leave the high heels and dressy stuff at home. I mean, can you imagine heels on sand? Or on a boat deck? No thanks.
Exactly. And a really big practical tip, avoid big rolling suitcases.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, just picture trying to drag one across sand or haul it onto a speedboat. It sounds like a nightmare. A backpacker duffel is way better.
Makes sense. Easier to manage.
And one more critical thing for planning, cash. ATMs are apparently very limited, maybe non-existent on some islands. So you absolutely must bring enough cash for your whole stay. Most homestays, local seafood places, they prefer cash.
Okay, good to know. Bring dong. Lots of it.
Yeah. It's interesting how that practical detail, like needing cash, sort of reinforces the whole vibe of the trip, Less formal infrastructure.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so moving on. Each island sounds like it has its own vibe, its own personality. It's not just pick an island. It's about finding the right fit for what you want. Can you break down the feel of Quan Lạn, Minh Châu, and Koh Tao?
Absolutely. The source gives pretty clear pictures. So Quan Lạn is described as having these quiet fishing villages, a real glimpse into local life. It's got long, peaceful beaches. Sun Hao Beach gets mentioned, perfect for just, chilling out. There are also some historical sites like the Quan Lạn communal house, so a little bit of culture too. It's apparently great for renting a motorbike and just exploring slowly. Generally feels less touristy than Minh Châu. It's really for unplugging.
Okay, Quan Lạn is the quiet one. What about Minh Châu?
Right. Minh Châu is mainly known for Minh Châu Beach itself. That's the one with the shockingly white sand and turquoise water.
Ah, the famous beach.
It's exactly. It's a bit more developed than Quan Lạn, so you'll find more guest houses, more restaurants. The infrastructure is a bit better, which might make it easier if you're traveling with, say, kids or older family members. Plus, it has this nice pine forest near the beach, apparently good for picnics or photos. Adds a different element.
Okay, so Minh Châu is maybe a balance between beach beauty and a few more comforts. And Koh Tao.
Koh Tao is the largest of the three. It offers more diverse landscapes and things to do. It also has stunning beaches like Bai Hung Van and Bai Van Che, apparently very picturesque. There's also a lighthouse you can climb for panoramic views, which is a cool activity. And Koh Tao has a bit more nightlife, like cafes, maybe feels a bit more like a complete destination with things happening after dark.
That's really useful. You can kind of pick based on your mood. The original host even shared a personal take, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They suggested Minh Châu is great for maybe 2 nights of just pure relaxation, total rest, whereas Koh Tao is maybe better for 3 or 4 days, offering a mix of exploring and relaxing.
Nice. You can really tailor it. Okay, accommodation and food. Essential. Where do people usually stay and what should they absolutely eat?
Right, so for accommodation, the source says most people go for guest houses or these small mini resorts. Fits that rustic vibe we talked about. You can use sites like booking.com or Agoda, but here's another insider tip. It's often cheaper if you call the place directly. Or, even better, get a Vietnamese friend to help book it. That local connection again.
Ah, the direct approach. Good tip. Any specific places mentioned?
Yeah, a few recommendations came up. An Homestay and Van Haijan in Quan Lạn. Yeah. Minh Châu Resort and Hoang Grand Hotel in Minh Châu. And Koto Life and Than Nguyen Hotel in Koto.
Okay, good starting points. Now the food, especially the seafood. What are the must-tries, the things you just have to eat there?
Okay, get ready. This list sounds amazing. First, mantis shrimp, locally called bay blanc. It's described as really sweet and meaty, kind of unique.
Mantis shrimp. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Then, classic grilled squid, muk nung, always good by the sea. For something different, sea urchin soup, chao num. Sounds rich, briny.
Adventurous.
Maybe. And fried sea snails with lemongrass and chili, that sounds fantastic, right? Savory, spicy. And of course, if you want to splash out, fresh steamed lobster is usually an option.
Wow. And the source emphasized eating this right on the beach, didn't it?
Absolutely. Beachfront, cold beer, salty air. That's the ideal setting, according to the guide. Pure, relaxed, delicious seaside dining.
Sounds perfect. Okay, so you're settled in, you've eaten incredible food. How do you actually get around on these islands? Not taxis, I'm guessing.
No, definitely not taxis.
Yeah.
The islands are pretty small, easy to navigate. The source says you can rent bicycles, e-bikes, or motorbikes. So options depending on how energetic you're feeling or how far you want to go.
And are they expensive to rent?
Pretty reasonable, actually. Yeah. Prices range from about 100,000 to 200,000 dong per day. That's roughly, what, $4 to $8 US? Very affordable.
Wow, yeah, that's great.
But this leads to an important point about, safety and just being aware when you're driving yourself around. The source gives some key tips. Always ask for a helmet. Definitely check the brakes and how much gas is in the tank before you ride off.
Good advice anywhere, really.
True.
Yeah.
And interestingly, it notes there aren't really license checks on the islands, but obviously you still need to drive carefully and safely. Kind of speaks to that relaxed atmosphere, but you still got to be responsible, right?
Absolutely. And beyond the bikes, the source mentioned transportation itself is almost part of the local color. What kind of things might you see?
Yeah, that's what sounds so charming. It's not just roads and vehicles. You might actually share the road with cows just wandering along.
Yeah.
Local kids on bikes, fishermen maybe zipping by on motorbikes, possibly barefoot. It's all part of that laid-back, authentic island life.
Sounds very different from city traffic.
Totally. The advice is just go slow, smile, wave, soak it in. It's a reminder you're somewhere genuinely different.
Love that. Okay, so bringing it all together, for someone thinking, okay, this sounds great, how do I actually plan it? The source offered a simple itinerary, right? Like a blueprint.
Exactly. A really simple, straightforward 3 or 4 day plan, specifically designed to help you hit that reset button. It takes the stress out of planning.
Okay, walk us through it. Day 1.
Day 1, travel day. Get from Hanoi to Cairon Port, then the speedboat over to Quan Lạn. Check into your place, maybe explore the closest beach, have a nice, easy seafood dinner. Just ease into it.
Simple start. Day 2.
Day 2. Morning motorbike exploration of Quan Lạn. See a bit more. Then the suggestion is to head over to Minh Châu Beach, maybe have lunch at a beach shack there, relax under the pine trees. And day 2 also offers the option. If you want to see Koto, you could transfer there late afternoon.
Okay, so a choice point. What about day 3? Assuming you went to Koto.
Right, if you transferred, day 3 is your Koto day. Explore its beaches, maybe visit that lighthouse for the views, have another great seafood dinner. And the source even mentions maybe trying some karaoke or checking out a night market, hinting at that slightly livelier vibe on Koto.
Fun. And day 4?
Day 4 is basically heading home. The final morning beach walk, soak it all in one last time, then ferry back to the mainland and travel back to Hanoi. It's a nice little loop.
Seems like a good balance of relaxing and seeing things. And you could always skip Koto, right? Just stay longer on Quan Lạn or Minh Châu if you wanted maximum chill.
Absolutely. The itinerary is just a suggestion. If pure relaxation is the goal, stretching out time on Quan Lạn or Minh Châu sounds perfect. Either way, it's framed as a great way to properly reset.
Well, this deep dive has definitely given us a fantastic shortcut to understanding these Vietnamese hidden gems, Quan Lạn, Minh Châu, and Koto. We've distilled the travel steps, the packing essentials, the different vibes of each island, all straight from that really practical expat guide.
Yeah, and what's really striking is how the source consistently emphasizes finding that quiet, clean, less commercial escape.
Yeah.
It sort of gently challenges the idea that more development or more tourist stuff automatically means a better trip. It encourages looking beyond the obvious choices, embracing a different, maybe more authentic side of travel. more about peace and local connection.
Right.
Which kind of leads to a question for you, the listener, to think about.
Yeah.
In this world where popular spots get so crowded, maybe you feel a bit the same. What kind of effort are you willing to make to find those places that offer something genuinely different? Is that extra bit of travel planning worth the peace and unique experience you might find?
Yeah, it makes you think about what really counts for a memorable trip. Is it the crowds and famous sights, or is it finding that quiet beach, no traffic noise, just peace? Something to definitely mull over until our next deep dive.